He used to date Ugly Betty. Welcome back to Get Connected. I'm your host, Conn Jackson. He's been in Harper Island and now stars on the USA hit show in its second season, Covert Affairs. Let's welcome Christopher to Get Connected. Chris, welcome.
Hi, Conn.
All right, Chris, of all the things you do off-Broadway, film, and television, which is your favorite?
I'm going to go with this gig on Covert Affairs. I think the role that I get to play is one of those roles that just doesn't come around very often. He's a blind CIA officer who is living just an extraordinary life and has an extraordinary past. The episode that's on this Tuesday night at 10 on USA Network is the episode where we finally reveal how he really lost his sight, and we get to see him before he lost his vision, working with special forces in Iraq. We were able to go to Istanbul to shoot for 3 full production days because the episode starts with Augie going to the International Jazz Festival in Istanbul, so we were there. And having a part with such a specific physicality, and also with such amazing storylines week to week is something that I'm very grateful for. And also I think it's an important role. Augie is one of the only, if not the only, leading men on television who's also a disabled veteran. And we have thousands of our men and women coming home from our wars every year who've lost their limbs, who've lost their vision with traumatic brain injury, depression, and I think it's important that we have a positive portrayal of one of those heroes on TV.
Well, Christopher, that's great, and you do it so well. I'm curious, with this new hit show you're part of, Covert Affairs, when did you know you had the role, and when did you even know it existed?
I auditioned for it, just like I've auditioned for 1,000 things over the years. Actually, when I went in for my first audition, I think like most of the guys who were going in to read, I didn't really know anything about what it's like to live without sight. I had a lot of the same stereotypes that I think most people have, which manifested itself in me showing up with a very dark pair of sunglasses on. You could tell that they'd seen a lot of that because the casting director told me on the way into the room to please take the sunglasses off, that they won't be using them on this show, which gave me a mild panic attack, but it all worked out.
You know, Christopher, given what you've experienced playing the vision challenge character, what is the takeaway for all of us?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. The most important being that people without vision, or the fact that someone can't see with their eyes, does not mean that they are not capable, does not mean that they are not living fulfilling, interesting lives, and does not mean that they should be pitied. I think, in my conversations with people in the blind community, I think that's kind of the #1 thing. And one of the things I think that they're also appreciative of what we're doing on Covert Affairs is we're also not showing Augie as a superhero. He's not out there doing things that a real person with his disability couldn't do. The technology that we use on the show is all real, off-the-shelf stuff, with the exception of his laser cane. But everything else is real, and when he's not in Langley, we always use the white cane, just like every person with vision loss you see on the street.
Well, Christopher, you certainly have my attention now. What does a laser cane do?
The laser cane was an invention of the pilot director, Tim Matheson, which is not far actually from reality. It takes 2 current technologies and puts them together. So there is a laser cane that's absolutely real. The laser's not visible, but it shoots out, it looks like a cane, and it shoots out 3 beams that then bounce back and give the user feedback about what's in front of them. The other part of it is a sonic wand, which is also real, which I've used actually. One of a blind buddy of mine in Toronto has one and let me test it out. And it's echolocation. It shoots out sound waves, and the sound waves bounce off of whatever's in front of it. The cool thing about that is that different materials sound different. So you can tell if you're pointing it at a person or a wall or a window, because the sound changes depending on what it's bouncing off of. And you also get an idea of how close you get to it. So his laser cane combines both of those things.
Well, one thing's for sure, Christopher, we enjoy watching you on TV, and we'll be tuning in Tuesday nights to watch you on the USA channel on Covert Affairs. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is one cool dude, and you got to check him out. Covert Affairs, 2nd season, and congratulations to the entire team. We'll be right back here on Get Connected.